Hey everyone, this is John from Models by John Michael. If y'all could go ahead and please subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would be amazing. Just be sure to hit that notification bell. And also follow me on Instagram and Facebook and check out some of the stuff I got posted over there. So I want to show you guys something that I got for Christmas, and I am just completely ecstatic about this. And it is the AK Real Color markers. So these are acrylic markers. They are matte finish, they're waterproof, and they dry very, very quickly. So if you are looking for something to kind of complement your current paint repertoire, I guess, this is a really good item to go ahead and pick up. Of course, this is the full set. They do sell smaller sets. If you're doing, say, tanks or aircraft or something like that, they sell color coordinated sets. And I'm not sure what the prices are on these, but these retail for right around $100 for the full set. And I believe there are 34 different markers in here. And I'll go ahead and I'll go through the kit, just kind of show you. It does come with this nice card, which has all of the colors on there. Now I went through and I marked all of the colors on here because obviously, if you know, as you know, that sometimes the paint dries differently than what they're showing you on the sheet. And that's why I went ahead and did this. But it is a nice quick reference color key. That can, you can just use, and it comes in the box. So it's nothing additional you have to print out or anything like that. And I'll show you the kit itself. So the flap on here, it's magnetic. It's a very, very nice, very high quality box. It's very sturdy, so you don't have to worry about your markers falling out of here or anything like that. But the front flap is magnetic, flips open, and here are all of your markers. They're nice, nicely packed in foam. And then you've got this little finger notch up here. You pull it out, and then you have all of the markers underneath. And I'll show you some of these individual markers. The nice thing about this kit is it comes with your general colors, so like your reds, yellows, greens, blues, that kind of stuff. But then it also comes with country specific markers that they're colored for a specific country, so like Germany, England, United States, and then of course Russia. And let me show you some of the markers here. So this is the red one, and so what I'm talking about on here, so I'll show you. It says Signal Red on there, and then it says 3020, which is your color code, and then up here you have an RCM color, RCM003. Now that's AK's color code for this specific marker. So if you have the set and you run out of this color, you can just reorder or find this specific marker and buy the individual marker. Now the markers, they are acrylic based paints, and the tips on these are very nice. So it's not the smallest, finest tip in the world. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the marker instead of trying to focus on me. There we go. So just kind of gives you an idea. They mark very, very nicely, very, very easily. There's no pressure required at all. No shaking. So like, the white, like the whiteout markers or something like that, they usually have a little marble inside of them. You have to shake them to get them to work, or press the tip down to get them to work. There's none of that. They come ready to go right in the box. And then it comes with a nice, very nice cap. They snap on very nicely. Just, you hear that little pop, and it goes right on there. So now you have, so you have black, off-white, red, yellow, orange, blue, there are browns, there's buffs, there's deck tan, there's aluminum colors, so you have a couple of metallics in here. There's no brass or gold, which I would have really loved to have seen in the kit. But, I don't know how often you use brass or gold. I really don't use it that often. So I think that maybe AK was trying to give you the markers that you would use most often. So like your aluminums, your greens, your tans, stuff like that. So then I'll show you, it comes with country-specific markers. So this one here, it's the German, see the iron cross on there. This is German olive grün or olive green. Again, it has your AK number on there, so the RCM 015 on there. So makes it real easy to identify the marker, which is really nice. So comes with country-specific ones. Let's see another one that they have for Germany. So they have the RLM colors in here as well. So here's that orange-yellow color. It says RLM 79. So it's marker 27 in the kit. And this is that orange-yellow color that they use on Luftwaffe aircraft. So it makes it really nice. So if you're painting and you're trying to go historically accurate with a vehicle, so an aircraft, a tank, maybe one of the ships that Germany used, you have the color range in here to try and do that. And then it has, so from Britain, the British color, it's got the RAF cockpit green, or gray green on there. You have two Japanese colors. So you got this one here, which is IJN M3, so Mitsubishi interior green. And then it comes with the blue-green color that the Japanese used. So two of those. And then you have one Russian color. So this one here, this is that cockpit turquoise color that they used in your Russian aircraft. And then you have three American colors. So olive drab, interior green, and then your yellow green for aircraft. Olive drab, obviously, you could use on a variety of vehicles. And then for the German colors, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different German colors. So RLM colors, and then they have some other ones that they used as well. And then, of course, your general colors, so like black, white, red, yellow, orange, blue, brown. So, different colors you can use. Of course, your blacks, your aluminums, dark aluminums, gunmetal, white, off-white, stuff like that. So, and then what I will do is I'll go ahead and I will show you. So, I just did this door. Now, you can see on this door some of the points where the marker was, used on the plastic. So, the point I want to bring up with this, yes, it does have a very nice matte finish on it. However, it's not an even matte finish. So that would bring me to the point of, I wouldn't want to use this to necessarily do large areas, or at least have this be your finish, like your top coat on something, because you're going to see the streaks. Now I'm going to paint over that, right? So I'm painting it in flat black. Then I'm going over the top of this with a different color. So to give a variation of colors, because I'm still working on the F-14. This is an F-14 landing gear door. And then once I have gone over this one with a slightly different color, then I can paint over it in the main color that I'm going to have for my F-14. So these markers clearly to me are not meant for large areas. So if you're doing detail work, you're trying to do, it's like if you're doing a seat belt on an aircraft, or the yoke stick or something like that, and you just want to paint that instead of bringing out your airbrush to go ahead and hit that thing real quick. Whatever the case may be, if you're doing knobs, like if you're painting knobs or something like that inside of an aircraft, you can use this kit to just kind of go ahead and knock that out real quickly, instead of going ahead and trying to paint a large area with so I wouldn't do an aircraft wing or something like that. I don't think these markers are suited for that. Not to mention, you'd run out of paint, fairly quickly. And that's not something you necessarily want to do. So just something to really, really think about. But I'll go ahead and I'll demonstrate for you guys real quick. So I'm using flat black, you can see, and I'm going to do this portion of the door that isn't painted quite yet. And this stuff does dry fairly quickly, which is nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to knock out this side here. And there's no pressure, like none at all, because it goes on so nice and smoothly. I don't know if you guys can really see that. I'm trying to give a good angle, but I'm not applying any real pressure at all. As you can see, let's see, if you can see a difference in the sheen. Yeah, see, it's kind of shiny there, but it'll dry fairly quickly. And then as it dries, you'll be able to see, I guess, where the marker has been on the landing gear door or on the surface. So that's why I say I wouldn't use these for a finishing paint. It's already dry. But you can see that. So that is something to keep in mind with these markers. The other nice thing, so I've already pointed out that the caps, they fit on there very, very nicely. And then the other thing is they do fit on the end of the marker if you want to put it there. And then when you're putting your marker back in, you want to make sure you don't want to hit the side of it, because these are like a felt tip type material. Well, and you don't want to wear them down or damage them in any way. So you just want to make sure you're putting them back and then popping it back in there. So, which is really, really nice. So then the other thing is, so this set, like I said, is about $100. So it is an investment in your model building stuff. Would I recommend these? Yes, I think I would recommend these to somebody who is serious about model building and they want to bring things up to the next level and they want to help them do detail work in a way that, maybe you don't necessarily want to drag out your airbrush to do some fine detail work on something. So you obviously can use these on a variety of things. Doesn't have to be aircraft, doesn't have to be tanks, doesn't have to be ships. You can use them on figures, you can use them on whatever it is that you want to do. Obviously, you just want to make sure that you don't have compatibility issues. So with whatever paint you're primarily using, so if it's enamels or lacquers or things like that, I use acrylics. So I'm going to be putting acrylic on acrylic. So it's not really going to be a problem for me. But for you, you just want to make sure that you're not going to have compatibility issues with these paints. So there you have it. That's all I got for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, please, drop them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to try and answer your questions. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for y'all. I appreciate every single last one of you. Stay tuned because I will be doing an end of the year recap video, kind of going over some of the kits that I finished this last year, going over some of the products I reviewed, stuff like that. Just kind of give you guys, a quick little recap of things. That's all I got. So I'll just say take care and happy modeling.